Hey guys, welcome back to a new video. Today I'll show you how to play Gwen. Skill sequence is Q max followed by E, prioritizing the damage and mobility first, and then your W is maxed out last for the defensive capabilities. Your ultimate slows and deals massive amounts of AoE damage, so always put points into this whenever possible. Alright guys, so Gwen's passive will make it so her basic attacks, her Q and her ultimate deals damage based on the target's maximum health, so it is a champion that's designed to take down tanks and other tanky targets like bruisers. So she's a late game split pusher like a Fiora and a Tryndamere. She's supposed to be very strong in those 1 versus 1s. So guys, her Q, her snip, you deal AoE damage in a cone in front of you guys, and if you hit people in the center, then it is going to deal true damage. And when you auto attack something, then you can see those small bars adding up right below your mana bar. It basically means that you will snip additional times with your Q depending on how many passive stacks you have. So when you go for trades, you want to make sure that you have that passive stacked up so your Q deals as much damage as possible. And yeah, she's actually quite weak early game, but level 1 and 2 you can often cheese really good trades because she has a lot of early game damage, like the first few levels, but she falls off slowly in the later levels and then she comes back online again. Late game is where she really starts shining, guys, and also when you have 2 core items. So your E, guys, is like a mobility spell that will also empower you. And it also works as a basic attack reset, so that's very important to know, is that when you can auto attack something and then you can immediately press E afterwards, so you get another free auto attack. Very important to make use of that basic attack reset. And then of course you also get bonus attack speed and bonus attack range for a short duration when using that E. And your W is what makes Gwen really interesting, is because you are untargetable inside that W zone, guys, if the enemy champion is outside of that zone. If they're inside of that zone, then they can still damage and target you. But you also get bonus armor and magic resistance while you're inside that zone. So it's also really useful for combat, even though you don't make use of that on targetability. Okay, we did not get the kill, but we got the Dark Harvest proc and we got some burst down onto him. So yeah, when you go for trades in Gwen, try to stack that passive up on minions, the Q passive. Because it works off of anything. So you don't only have to hit the champions to get the passive stacks. And then when you have full stack, then you can go in. You'll see she has a ton of burst damage. In a W, guys, it will follow you once when you leave the zone. Only once, and then after that it will disappear. You get away from it, so it can follow you when you teleport. And it's very useful for dodging skill shots and such when they're outside of the mist. But if they're inside, then keep in mind that they can damage you. Now this champion is very strong late game, of course she's gonna destroy everyone, but her main problem is she doesn't have reliable disengage, because once she commits to a fight, then she is in that fight and she can't get out. So it means that if you play against lane bullies like a Renekton, Darius and Pantheon, then you are going to struggle a lot. Because once they get within range, then you can't get out again. Unless you use your flash, of course, because her E is such a short distance that it doesn't really give her anything useful to escape with, unless of course there's a small wall, because you can hop over walls with that E. But yeah, when using your Q fully stacked, make sure that you also hit people in the center, because it is true damage. That's why she's good against tanks, and now you have your ultimate. The first cast, you throw needles, guys, and then you can recast it twice. And all of them deals damage based on the target's maximum health. But before you can recast it the second and third time, you need to be using your auto tag or your ultimate before you can use each recast. I guess Riot did this so you can't just stay and use it from a safe distance. You have to actually be in the fight before you can use it. But yeah, it adds a ton of damage in an all-in, and of course you also get sustained because of that passive from your auto attacks, your Q and ultimate. But it has a lot of different purposes. It is a skill shot and it can deal or it can damage multiple targets at once. Now, because she's a split pusher designed for those extended fights, we're gonna go for the Rift Maker. Because that is the best item for extended fights for AP champions. And on top of that, you also get that free Omni Ramp, so you get even more sustain, so it's harder to burst you down. You don't always have to use that W to become untargetable, guys. You can also just use it in the middle of a fight, because that bonus defensive armor and magic resistance you get is so useful. And also remember that your E will have half of the cooldown refunded when you attack after using it. So yes, it can get on a pretty low cooldown later on in the game. Another thing that's also important to know is that your 1000 Cuts passive will deal bonus damage to minions that are low HP. To help her wave clear, because the wave clear isn't the best, so it helps with the farming and pushing out waves in general. Flashes down. And we got the kill as well, okay. Something. Yeah, these matchups, the tank's top lane, that's why you want to be picking her. She should be really good into champions like Maokai, Ion, and you know, all the tanks, even the Malphite, because she has magic damage. Even though he slows your attack speed, builds mainly armor. You deal magic damage and true damage, so very good against tanks. But you are going to struggle a lot against lane bullies, like Renekton especially. Renekton is going to be so hard. On top of that, other matchups like a Jax, because he's going to block out all of your auto attack damage. Oh, that was close, but that's like a random Thresh gang topside. Level 5 Thresh coming top, I did not expect that. I also could not get out, so Ender died, but we almost got the kill though. So yes, he does have a lot of burst damage as well. Okay, bot lane doing good stuff. Lion is just going to AFK push topside. It is annoying he has the Molotov though, because then he can take down my tower faster. But yeah, when we have that ultimate up, then we can look for all-ins. Oh, Saya just got blasted. And that is a tank Nunu, I think. Yeah, it is. It's insane amount of base damage he has on that ultimate, especially if it's allowed to channel. Yeah, we want to scale up, we want to get the Rift Maker, and then we want to get the Nash's Tooth along with tier 2 boots, and once we have that, then we are really strong. we're gonna aim for that part. And then we want to look for extended fights where we can really make use of that Conqueror and Riftmaker passive. We will not be able to take any plates because he used this ultimate. I guess he's just gonna stay top side the entire lane, so we probably will not be able to roam a lot. Doesn't have any reliable CC guys, he has a slow on ultimate. That's about it, so that's another problem with this champion is that like all in offensive hit. She doesn't have reliable disengage as I said early on, so and Nunu ganking you guys, you will not be able to escape, so you have to position extremely well. But yeah, that untargetable on your W is going to make it really interesting. You can dodge damage from Baron, oh there he is. Nunu, and we can't really get out. I wasted my flash here. Yeah, you see how difficult it is when you get ganked, because she doesn't have any way to escape. Like all-in champ, but with no real disengage against melee champions who will get in your face. Yeah, she can do well against range ones because the W is going to block them out. But anyone who gets in melee range up and close is just doomed. So positioning is very important. He's just gonna die for the tower. Even Sion's passive is so annoying, it also deals incredible amount of damage. Yeah, he does have the Bramble West, so we're not going to heal. Pretty much not going to heal anymore, even though we have it sustained in our passive and the Omnivamp from the Riftmaker component. These anti-healing items are good against it, but he's building armor and we are dealing true damage and magic damage. So yeah, you want to go for extended fights with your E active for that bonus attack speed and bonus auto attack range, and then a stack Q. You manage to land a couple of those fully stacked Qs onto the target and they are going to die. Even if they have MR guys, because it is true damage, it is going to shred them. And your ultimate, you can use it to catch up to people because it is going to slow. The first part you can just use without having to auto attack or use Q first, but the second and third one you have to be in the fight. It's good for bursting, it's also good for sustain. Very good in team fights because it is AoE, so it can damage everyone and it deals damage based on their maximum health. So if you hit like a Nunu and a Sion at the same time, it's going to deal insane amount of damage to them. So we got the first spike here with the Riftmaker, so now we have even more damage in extended fights, and now we need attack speed, and that is what we will be getting from the Nash's Tooth, along with a lot of AP and bonus on hit damage. And even though people are building MR, you don't really need Void Staff early on, guys, because you have a lot of true damage and maximum health damage, so it is not going to counter you early on, but later on you can buy the Void Staff. It's also very hard to get close, as you can see people can also kite you pretty well. He was just inside that miss zone, that's why he hit with a hook right there. You see that ultimate is actually dealing a decent amount of damage, but you also get a lot of sustain from it, and that's what's important, so you can survive those fights. Very good once she's close and able to dish out damage. Wow. Okay. We're getting the tower at least, so we are getting something out of it. It's also important that you try to reset or reposition your Q, because it is very easy to dodge, especially the center, so you try to use like your E to reposition it, so when they try to dodge, you follow with that E. Always want to keep them in the center, because if you don't hit them in the center, then it barely deals any damage whatsoever. But yeah, she's okay in fights. She can actually be incredibly good in fights if she has the proper setup from her team. Because she can completely shut down carries while she's damaging the front line. That's what you want to do in fights. Pop that W while you're fighting someone, and then everyone else will not be able to damage you as long as they are outside the mist. Just have to stay in the side lane, and then we try to get the tower as well, but we have to back off now because we don't see Uno, and they got a kill mid lane. The Sion is very tanky, but true damage he does nothing. You see, now the Riftmaker is active, so just melting this guy. You see a single Q how much damage he dealt. There we go, finish him up with that ultimate. You don't always have to use the ultimate though, because very often you do have enough damage. Yeah, I should not have flashed right there. That was kinda... You don't really have a way to dodge Nuno. So Nuno is like a super good pick into Gwen. As a jungler, of course, not a lane matchup, because very easy to gank her. The Nuno is also incredibly fat, so if we get his 150 gold shot down, that would be huge for us. Then we can get the Nash's Tooth earlier. I can also teleport here, I probably have to teleport. Yeah, that's a fight starting. I'm gonna teleport in here. I don't have my ultimate up quite yet. Didn't get a lot, but at least they backed off here so they don't go for the kill. The problem here is that we had 3 AP. Gwen is also magic damage, which apparently a lot of people don't know. So we are sitting on 3 AP right now, so they can just take MR. Then Echo and Fizz will pretty much not exist. At least until they get their wet staffs. Oh, he actually has a lot of damage for a tank. I don't know why. I also missed that last part of my ultimate, otherwise he would have been dead. But yeah, you can see your E because it comes on a really low cooldown. Because of the cooldown refund, and later on you also have more points into it, and you also get some ability haste. So you'll be able to use it very often in fights. Need to take down the tower here. It is really low, so we can just walk up and hopefully take it down, because we do see... Oh, our team is winning on the other side, so we can just push here. We have some sustain luckily from the Ravenous Hunter and Riftmaker, and our pass as well. So we can heal up a little bit. Now we can go for the tower, just walk around, and then we can fight him. Right here, I could have used my Q with my E, but I wanted to save my E from his for his passive, because he's just gonna run me down if I don't have it up. But yeah, also when you want to push waves, then also you want to be looking for a fully stack Q, so you get more snips, and then you push it fast. Now we have enough for the second core item, the Nash's Tooth, so it's going to increase our DPS per a lot. Now we also have a lot of attack speed. Now what you build from this point and onwards, it's very situational. I like to get the Sonya's Hourglass right now because some extra defensive stats, so if everybody focuses me down in a fight, then I can just pop this active and then I can buy myself some time. So I can also help frontlining, even though it is not your job, you want to be hitting the front line of the enemy team. You stay with your team and then you hit the front line. While you pretty much shut down the entire backline of the enemy team because of your W. They will not be able to target you. If they want to target you, they have to walk within range, within the mist range. And if they do that, then the rest of your team can focus them down. It can be very annoying to deal with in fights. I'm gonna come for the blue, right? So I'm just gonna take this one here really fast. And they're fighting, I don't know why. This is a very bad fight to take. I also need to go top because I can't be grouped all the time. I'm losing a lot of farm as well. If you have it teleport up, then you just want to be in the side lane. Get that golden XP. Get yourself ahead, get more items. We can go for this easily here, because they are in a perfect spot for us to look for the fight. See how easily we shred these squishy targets as well. Because that true damage will absolutely obliterate them. So now we can go for the Baron and then we can turn it around. This is very fun to play in teamfights, unlike something like a Fiora who struggles a lot in teamfights. Gwen can do pretty well because she has AoE damage and she has a W as well. And if you position that W well, then you can also block out the Baron damage. Of course you have true damage and a lot of DPS, so objectives will go down really fast. And same goes for towers as well if you get a Lich Bane. This game I'm opting for something defensive because I already have enough damage. But now we have the Sonya's Hourglass, so now we can go even more ham. We're just one-shotting the minions now, so very easy to wave clear at this point. Of this guy? No, guess not. The objective is spawning soon, so you want to set up vision as well here. Get a really good position for a fight. We want to make sure that our W is useful in fights, so go for Veigar here. She's very good against squishies. She's just gonna one-shot them, guys. Those were only auto attacks I damaged them with. That ultimate. Try to hit as many people as possible with that ultimate because it is AoE. It's important to know. Like if you find people in a choke point, you pop that ultimate, you're gonna shred them. Especially if they're tanks because it deals damage based on maximum health. We can just go bot here. Yeah, Fizz wants the farm. I should have been bot though, but it's whatever. I have a lot of kills as well. I'm super fed also. Now we can just go for straight a Ravenous Death Cap. You can also go for Void Staff, and if you're squishy and end up getting one-shot a lot, then you can also easily itemize tank items. You can also go for Demonic Embrace or items like a Spirit Visage or a Thornmail. You can build pretty much all defensive items you want. As long as you have your first core items, like the Riftmaker and Nash's Tooth, then you can just itemize fully defensive if you want to be a frontline. Because the thing is, people will be focusing you down, so the extra health and defensive stats can help. So if you feel like you need the HP and stuff, then you can also go for that. Oh, I don't think she should have used the ultimate. She should just let him hit her, because then we could follow up. Bam, and that Q just one-shot him. And she did not respect the Sion passive. And just go mid here. Push it as a team. Problem is we don't really have wave clear though, because we are 2 assassins, mid and jungle, so absolutely no wave clear. Damn, there we go. Tanks would just melt. So she's very fun to play if there are tanks in the enemy team. Nice, we can take down the inhibitor as well. We probably will not be able to take down the inhibitor here, or the base tower, because Sion can defend pretty well. Can't really take him down either fast enough before the other spawn, so maybe we can get this one tower and then we just back off. We need to get out now. Need to get out, guys. Just get away. We are giving away like 3 shutdowns. We overextended quite a bit here, but we got 1 tower, but we gave away 3 shutdowns I think, so that sucks a bit, but in exchange we have a lot of gold, so we definitely need to spend that, and we're gonna go for the Ravenous Death Cap here for even more burst damage. Because Gwen has like massive AP scaling. She doesn't scale with AD. AP scaling is where it's at, so you can build AD items, but there are no scaling towards them. So you want to be going for unhit items if you're getting AD, like a Blade of the Ruined King or a Kraken Slayer. But she will always scale better with AP items, because that's what her abilities work off with. Yeah, level 16 as well, so this is like a big power spike, guys. We have fully maxed out ultimate. Just gonna shred people. Play against 2 or 3 tanks, then this pick is going to be so much fun. Maximum health damage on your ultimate as well. And you throw multiple needles, so just gonna blast people if you have it up. Such a ARAM fight, but we are in a good position where we can damage the front line without being shredded to pieces by the back line. And we also have the Sunny's Hourglass, which actually ended up saving us here. That's why I don't build fully aggro. I also get some defensive items, so we can actually survive these fights without instantly dying. And we don't need to take the Drake here so they don't get the soul. They already have 3 Drakes. Definitely don't want to give Sion and Nunu another Mountain Drake, because it just makes them scale better with the shield and bonus resistances as well. Yeah, taking down objectives is really easy, so she can actually jungle as well if you want to. Problem is she doesn't have reliable CC and reliable disengage. Now we have the Ravenous Death Cap here, guys. Now we're sitting at 537 AP. We can also get a Blasting Wand here, almost 600 AP. Blasting Wand is for the Void Staff. You want to get that as your core item, means you'll be getting it every game, but you don't have to get it early on. You can wait with it until you really need it. Pretty good fight for me here because they're grouped up, so ultimate is gonna shred them. It's gonna shred them completely, as you can see. Really nice. And we get a quadra as well. Unfortunately, we did not get the penta. But we can just push mid here and go for the end. They'll not respawn in time. But yeah, that was the Gwen guide. I hope this was helpful. As always, see you guys in the next one.